Hey everyone, it's Alan Thornton here, President and CEO of St. John's Community Services, back for another episode of Advocates for All. And with me today is a very special guest and good friend. That's George Leakopoulos, our Deputy CEO. George, thank you for taking the time and joining us.
Glad to be here today, Alan. Thank you for having me.
So this is an incredibly special week at St. John's Community Services because it is National DSP Week. And I was hoping that maybe for people that may not be so familiar with what is DSP or who are DSPs, could you just kind of walk us through the role, who are DSPs and what do they do for St. John's and across the entire country?
Sure. So DSP, that stands for Direct Support Professional, and they're really the heart and soul of the organization. They're the staff people that are out in the field every day supporting the individuals that we serve through employment, residential, day services. A DSP walks hand in hand with the people that they're supporting every day out in the community, helping them to become as independent as they can in the various activities in which they participate every day. They provide them support in accessing community resources, developing relationships. They're really a kind of a bridge for the people that we support in the community in many different ways. They just go out of their way every single day to make sure the people that we support are well cared for, engaged, active, and enjoying the things that they'd like to do.
Yeah, they really come alongside. I mean, so for people that we serve and support that have an intellectual and developmental disability, I mean, they want to go about living their life day in, day out, right? Whether that's at home with whatever they want to eat for dinner, or whether they want to watch something on TV, or whether they want to work in a garden. And now that the country's reopening, it's also getting out in the community and being able to participate fully with whatever their interests are. And to do that, because some of the folks that we support, because of their disabilities, may have special needs relative to support needs, right? And that's where our direct support professionals come alongside of them and make sure that they can engage in life safely and at the fullest potential that they want to. Is that a pretty accurate way to put it?
That's correct. And with as much independence as possible. The idea is not that they do for people, but they support them to learn, to build the experiences, the skills, the knowledge that they can then use to engage in community life as best as they can, as much as they want, with as much independence as possible. So again, it's not doing for people, but teaching them to do for themselves and to have their own voice in all of that.
And actually, our team members, our DSPs, go out of their way to actually not stand out, right? I mean, so particularly when they're out in the community with an individual that they're supporting, the whole goal with how they dress and is just to be able to really blend in. And so it's not obvious of what their role is. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. That they provide support as needed. So that some individuals may need a little more support, whether it be an activity in the home or in the community or with developing and nurturing a relationship. Others may need less so. So our DSPs get to know the people that they support. They develop good trusting relationships built on mutual respect, and they let them branch out as much as they want, as much as they can, to know that safely they have a person back there that can come in and support them as they need and want.
So I want to come back to that a little bit, but it's before we get to that some more and tease that out a little bit more, you have a very special connection to DSPs. You've been with St. John's Community Services for 39 years, which is absolutely amazing. But you really started out in this field of working with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities as a direct support professional, right?
I did. I started my career, began at an institution in Massachusetts, where I worked for almost 2 years, supporting adults through children and actually infants as well, helping them to do the kinds of things that were available to them within the institution, which was very limited. It was not community life. From that experience, I really committed myself to doing anything and everything I could to support people to get out of institutions and into good quality of life in the community so that they could develop relationships, have jobs, go to school, whatever it may be, things that they really did not have available in an institution. I worked in a couple of homes in Massachusetts and one in Colorado as well. So grew to know that kind of work, pretty intimately. When I came to St. John's back in the early 80s, I was also part of our behavior support team to help people who are going through different kinds of crises, behaviorally and otherwise. I also worked as what was called a qualified mental retardation professional, QMRP, in our group homes when we needed someone that had the credentials to step in and help develop the programs and do the staff training that was needed. Spent a lot of time in our homes, throughout the District of Columbia at that time, and just really love it. I mean, as our organization has grown, my role has changed, more removed from that work, but that's really where my heart is. And as you and others know, probably the favorite part of my job is when we go out into the field, we do our quality reviews and spend time with staff and the individuals they support. And it's just so exhilarating for me to have that kind of connection. That's really what drives me through everything that I do.
So I imagine you remember vividly people that you supported, back in the day when you were a direct support professional.
I do. Some very fondly. I remember one gentleman in particular, Lawrence, who had a fairly significant intellectual disability, had cerebral palsy, but always wore this incredible smile. He just radiated. The whole room radiated when he would walk in. He had some challenges without a doubt, behaviorally and otherwise, but just was such a loving guy. He exemplified what getting people out into the community really means, and how people change as a result of that in a very positive way. Back in the early 80s, we provide a lot of our services in buildings. We realized that we were really doing a disservice to people by taking them from one part of the community, bringing them to our St. John's buildings, and then sending them back home. That we weren't really engaging them and teaching them how to be as independent and as involved in community life as they could. And we started to move folks out into the community gradually. Lawrence was one of the first people that we did that with. And he just changed dramatically. I just remember bringing together all these team meetings to do, kind of behavioral planning and all this to kind of help Lawrence, learn more appropriate behaviors and all that. Things weren't really working. As soon as he got out into the community, he became a different person. A lot of the behaviors that we had been trying to program for so many years just disappeared. He learned to develop relationships with people in the community, had other kinds of role models, and just really flourished. Got a job at the Smithsonian Institution, and just lost touch over the years. But he was just so happy, and I just have very fond memories of him. Just one example of many.
Well, and the reason I bring that up is if you come back to today, fast forward to today, and our direct support professionals, when you and I have the opportunity, our privilege to go out into the field and we go to a home, I am always blown away at the level of relationship that exists between the direct support professional and the people they support. It's really, they develop such a depth of kindred spirit and a level of communication because they get to know each other incredibly well. And it is amazing. I'm so humbled by kind of watching our DSPs in action and just the love and the genuine love and compassion that they have for the people that they support, and that commitment, not just to their health and safety, that's abundantly important, but just to who they are as people and wanting them to experience life at the fullest that they possibly can. It's really remarkable and a humbling thing to witness.
Yeah, they become family. I mean, yes. A lot of our DSPs will bring folks home to meet their family. They don't think of it as work. They don't think of it as they're coming to support somebody. It's just what they do. It's who they are. And family is really it. You'll hear a lot of our DSPs that as you have heard, as we've gone to, homes over, the different states that we're in. That's what people say, that, these folks are our family. We're all family together.
And it even goes to the point, unfortunately, and this is part of life, is death, right? And sometimes, like, we've had people that we've supported for literally decades at St. John's Community Services, have passed away from natural causes. And the sense of loss that leaves with our team members and our DSPs, they take that and carry that very personally, because they have built such a family relationship with the individuals they're supporting. And it's, again, just another humbling aspect, watching our DSPs in action and the level of care and compassion and commitment that they have to those that they're supporting.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I have always felt the best about for St. John's, almost 4 decades now that I've been here, is just that, the tremendous relationships that are developed by our DSPs and the individuals that they support, the caring, the fun that goes into that, the mutual respect, the playfulness you see. I always feel really good sleeping at night, knowing that the staff that we have, the DSPs that we have out in the field, caring for the people that, people have entrusted, us as an organization. And our staff, I just always feel wonderful of knowing that, the kinds of relationships that they have, how they watch out for them, how they help to nurture their development and independence. I always feel really good about that and sleep very well at night because of that.
Well,
they're wonderful people.
And I wanted to use that to bring up two additional points. One is the level of professionalism and training that our DSPs go through is off the charts. I mean, they are required to go, by many states, to go through a massive amount of training, and the level of professionalism with which they do that and then carry out their responsibilities. Because again, the health and safety piece has to happen first, right? A lot of the individuals that we support have some significant medical conditions, and some very acute, and require very specific behavior and support from their direct support professionals. And it's remarkable to see, again, that level of professionalism that our DSPs bring to bear in those situations.
That's very correct. The DSPs go through almost 100 hours of training before they can even begin to support someone in the field. And it does cover, medical pieces, such as medication administration, CPR, and first aid, to how to support someone to make choices, to understand the various options that they have for different choices in life activities, in work, in relationships, and then how to support them in making those kinds of decisions, to how to help them develop relationships. And as you said earlier, how to kind of, take a back seat, not be in the forefront of all those activities, but just kind of blend in and be there to support as needed. It's just remarkable how much they do. And then there's all the paperwork that goes with that. As you know, because of the government funding that we receive, and we need to be good stewards of those funds, there's a lot of responsibilities to go for documenting everything that is done. And they do that as well, through computer programs and our electronic record keeping system. So it's a very challenging position, because they have to keep up that record keeping while still being actively engaged with the people that they support. It's tremendously challenging work, but it's also really fulfilling work. For those DSPs that they make that kind of connection. It's really fulfilling work, for them throughout.
Well, and really, our DSPs make dreams come true, right? They make them happen for other people. So because they get to know what drives the people they support, what they love to do, what they aspire to do and dream to do, they then go about trying to figure out how to best support that individual and making that a reality. And you see the joy that our DSPs take when they see the people they support have an opportunity of a lifetime because of everyone's efforts together. It's remarkable. And I really want to highlight, our DSPs served faithfully on the front lines and continue to do so all through the pandemic, and just have done a phenomenal job. So not only is their job just tremendously challenging, on top of the normal challenge, then you had everything with PPE and all of the extra precautions that they needed to take in order to keep the people that they supported safe. And they really were heroes. We talked about them a lot as hidden heroes, because oftentimes you didn't literally see them, because during lockdown, they were in homes, caring for the people they support. A lot of our DSPs in the height of the pandemic actually locked down and moved in and stayed with the people they support. So when we talk about them as heroes here at St. John's, that's why is the selflessness by which they live their lives and do their work and support those that are in their care is just absolutely unlike anything you'll see, and it's just remarkable. So I really do just want to take this opportunity to give a shout out and a tremendous thank you to all of our direct support professionals at St. John's Community Services. You are changing lives and you are really making dreams happen. And it's just incredible to watch you. We are in awe of what you do day in and day out.
Yeah, tremendous respect for them as people, for the work that they do, the sacrifices that they make, the joy that they bring to the lives of so many people. Remarkable. They're just all very remarkable, and truly appreciate everything you all do day in and day out. And you are appreciated and recognized. Please know that.
Well, George, I want to thank you for taking the time just to highlight our DSPs today during National DSP Week. We've got a bunch of things going on this week, and sending out a lot of social posts just thanking our DSPs. And then each DSP, we're also sending a t-shirt that's specially custom made for our DSPs. And so I don't know if you can turn around as well, but you can kind of see what it looks like. So we make dreams come true, and it's our DSPs that do that. So thank you all. If you know a direct support professional, give them a shout out, give them a thank you. They are absolutely changing lives, and they are making dreams true. So take care, everyone. Thank you, George, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Advocates for All.
Bye now.